10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast, episode 473. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 473 of the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast. This is our last episode in the month of September, so we're going to wrap up this series on the Charleston groove. I hope you've gotten something out of it. You know, I've actually been practicing with all those tracks that I've been making for you all, and it is just so fun. And going back to these basic sort of principles of playing jazz and jazz rhythm is always just such a good idea. It always pays huge dividends, and just when I think I'm beyond doing this kind of stuff, it's like, nope, got to come back to the basics. Always come back to that sort of DNA of the rhythm that we use for this music. So we're going to do one more iteration of the beat. We're going to fill in a little bit more information, and then we're going to do something kind of cool where we're going to change the hi-hat pattern as well. So let's just dive right into it. So remember, all the way back when we started this series, what did we start with? We just started with a 2-note rhythm. Bump, 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 bump. And then what we did is we started adding things around it, right? Like we added beat 4. Bump, 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 bump. Filling it out a little bit more, giving us a little bit more rhythmic information, changing the groove just a bit. Then last week we added some eighth notes in other places, right? Bum, bump, bump, ba-dum, bum, bump, bump, ba-dum, bum, bump, bump, ba-dum. So this week we're just going to add one more note. And what we're going to do is we're going to play all the way to the and of 2 in eighth notes. Ba-ba-do-dot, ba-ba-do-dot, ba-ba-do-dot. And you're going to hear the bass drum doing that. Now, something interesting is happening here that I want you to really notice. There's a big difference in the notes between what is accented and what is not accented. So when you listen to the beat, I want you to pay particular attention to what's accented and what's sort of swallowed, or in jazz terms, we use the term ghosted a lot, right? So what's accented and what's ghosted. And that actually goes into, well, I think that is actually the biggest part of what makes these rhythms sound the way that they sound. Because if I went dot 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 dot, it actually doesn't swing that much. It's the same pattern. I'm using the same quote unquote swing feel, but it's not really that swinging. Dot 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 dot. But if I switch it to what it actually is, dot 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 dot, all of a sudden it takes on a completely different life. So hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is what you want to pay attention to that are really going to make your lines swing. You can learn a whole bunch of really cool like rhythms on paper, but it's actually what you choose to accent versus ghost or swallow that's going to make these lines what they should be. And if you start listening to recordings through that lens, wow, you'll realize just how much your favorite musicians are using these concepts of accenting. Okay, got off on a little bit of a tangent there. Let's go back to the rhythm for this week. Now, what I've also done on top of with the bass drum filling in 1 from the and of 2 with eighth notes is you will also hear that I've added a little bit to the hi-hat pattern. Not very much, but I've added a little bit to get that rhythmic interplay between the hi-hat and the kick drum. So the hi-hat is not just our 2 and 4 timekeeping device anymore. It's actually chiming in with its own rhythmic information, and the interplay between the bass drum and the hi-hat is very important. We start to understand that it's always sort of an interplay between the different parts. And if you play a horn or, a wind instrument or something like that, a soloistic instrument, it sort of mimics the interplay between you and the rhythm section. There's a lot of rhythmic information getting thrown around, and being able to sort of fit yourself into that is really important. All right, let's hear the beat this week. So you hear all the stuff going on in there? So we've got the kick drum doing a 2-measure pattern. Do 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 dot 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 do 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 dot 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 do 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 dot 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 do 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 dot 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 dot. Even just sitting there and singing that, wow, that's going to be huge for you. But then you can turn your attention to that hi-hat. Listen to where the hi-hat is following. Do dot dot do dot dot do dot dot do dot dot. And can you hear how much it changes the complexion of the beat just to have one extra eighth note in the hi-hat? So it's not just doing 2 and 4. Do dot dot do dot dot do dot dot do dot dot. So sitting there and singing with it, and switching between the kick drum and the hi-hat, or maybe at different points trying to sing both, whatever you can catch of both when they're happening at different times, if they're happening at different times. It's just really cool to sit with this beat and really try to feel it and sing along with it. Maybe, again, play drums on your body, tap your feet, all that kind of stuff. It's just that participation with the spirit of this rhythm that will really start to change things for you. You'll start to think about rhythm as a thing that you embody, and actually that's the wrong way to put it. You'll stop thinking about rhythm and you'll start just sort of living rhythm. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but that's actually what's happening, right? So get close to these beats. These are the foundational things. What I'll do for the Patreon members is I will give you both a B flat blues and an F blues, and we'll also do rhythm changes with this drum beat behind it. So not only can you sit with just the drum beat by itself, you can also pick up your instrument and you can start participating in an improvisatory manner with all of this stuff. So if you want to get your hands on all the materials, all the supporting materials from this episode, we are a listener-supported podcast, which means we don't do any kind of advertisements on the show. Instead, we rely on the people getting the benefits out of this stuff, you, the jazz student, to support us and keep this thing going. We do that through the Patreon platform in the form of a very small monthly donation. In return for that donation, you do get worksheets and practice tracks and all kinds of amazing stuff with every single episode. You also get access to our entire back catalog, so you can learn more about that and get yourself signed up for instant access to everything by going to our website, 10minutejazzlesson.com, and clicking on one of the Patreon banners, or you can go to patreon.com and you could search for the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson. You will see all of the stuff over there, the different donation levels, and all the information on what you get. Thank you so much if you choose to do that. That's really a big deal. Again, that's how we keep these shows coming out. And of course, to everybody over there supporting us, thank you. We could not do this without you. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging with me, and we'll see you on the next episode. Have a good one. Bye.